I think it was a little bit of a, not a disrespect thing, but just not respecting Unicorns of Love because they were the 6th seed, because they were a team that has not really shown their capability.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I mean, good teams will run late game teams against other good teams. It's not necessarily a disrespect thing, but I would not have expected UOL to punish it that hard.
Well, that's the thing, though, is when you run a late game team comp like that, you have to punish it, but it's actually very hard to punish it because you have to punish it once, then you have to continue to just twist the dagger once you've gotten it in, and you just keep going with the pressure. You cannot let up because it was a 28-minute game. If they had just stalled it, it becomes a 45-minute game, and then it's like, oh, look at Febiven.
Absolutely.
Killing everybody is Cassidy. So,
well, speaking of Febiven killing everybody, though, he's gotten the Orianna for himself. So these guys have traded champions, basically. H2K allowed the first pick, Maokai, to come through for Vizicachi. That means they got Orianna Rengar. Now, we didn't see any Orianna Rengar combos really in the first game. They didn't need them. But that is now here for H2K. Unicorns of Love going to repeat their bot lane here. Hillsong and Vardog, sorry, feeling very good about that Thresh Tristana.
Yeah, the Maokai going over very early. They have some late game here with some early game as well, because Maokai holds up in lane very well. He trades extremely well with his passive. And then you have Tristana bottom, who holds their own early game, then has a mid-game slump, and then comes back online around 2 items. So this composition for Unicorns of Love is not going to be as dominant, but hell, depending on what jungler they lock in for themselves and the way the game plays out, could be another performance similar to the one before.
Well, the thing is, H2K, I think, are much more well-rounded. I love their bot lane here. I really, really like Kognami. I think it's a great duo lane. And also, Orianna Rengar, again, just has so much potential to be a group, and they're not tunneled on a late-game team anymore. Yes, Kog's late-game carry, but it's fine. Your lane's going to be okay, and you're going to scale up. The question is, how well can you handle Maokai teamfights? But this is definitely a different lineup for H2K.
Yeah, I do like the Kog'Maw from Hjarnan. Every time I've seen him on Kog'Maw, I've been impressed. He played Kog'Maw 4 out of the 5 games in Summer Series 2. And I was actually really surprised that he didn't go for that champion right off the bat in the last game.
But he wanted the Lucian, I believe, if I remember properly. It went okay, but didn't really dominate. Unicorns of Love gonna grab in the Ziggs mid lane for Power of Evil, and the Jarvan does come through for Gilius. So very team fight focused composition. The 5-on-5 is exactly what they want. If they can get out of lane, Unicorns of Love could do very well there. H2K, though, they're gonna drop the Mundo, so still some late game on the top lane.
It's a regen tank slap fight up top. That's what this is gonna be, so we probably won't be looking up there for a while. Gilius is gonna play the Jarvan into the Rengar now. It's the ultimate disrespect.
Pretty much.
I beat you with this champion while you played Y, swap him.
Yep.
And then if he beats him again, it's a very demoralizing victory.
It's true. Well, at that point, you'd be down to the 3rd place match either way. So Unicorns of Love looking to make it a 2-0 over H2K. Not a result I think many were predicting, but definitely an opportunity here. Unicorns of Love, actually, yeah, decent late game. Honestly, really good team fighting. They scale everywhere. H2K, very similar, actually. Their team fighting is good as well. Mundo Maokai, I feel like, is a weird 1v1. I feel like Mundo has an edge there, is my blind guess. I'm just not sure if that's true.
In the early game?
I think more late game. Like,
well, late game.
Eventually, you're like 1v1ing. But of course, you can fight. You can force
late game 1v1ing, it's kind of a back and forth. They kind of just slap each other for a long time. Okay. It's like, you cast a spell, regen, and I cast a spell, regen, back and forth. But they both have % HP shreds. Yep. So depending on builds, most of them will, how much magic resistance each other one has, and how much they optimize for armor against the AD carry. Well, it would really make a difference.
That's true. I would expect an early Spirit Visit for Vizicachi. He's facing magic damage top, mid, and half the AD carry.
I'd expect pretty much the same for Odwamna here, considering he is Mundo.
Yep.
It's pretty much standard first buy.
I think a lot of this game comes down to how well the bot lanes do, because being able to break down a Mundo and a Maokai is kind of a race against time. They keep regenning throughout the fight. They have really good persistent damage output. And if you can deal enough damage to break through that, then good on you. I think Unicorns of Love are a bit tankier overall and actually have a bit more burst overall. But H2K have some really good crowd control.
Yeah, that's true. They have that AoE crowd control. They have the Nami ultimate. They have the Orianna delivery ball. And then they also have the single target from Trashy. Unicorns Love, though. They have some AoE ultimates here, too. You can synergize the Ziggs with the Jarvan right on top of it, put the Cataclysm down. And then Vizichachi will absorb a lot of damage. His name means water donkey.
Water donkey.
Water donkey. So if he's a water donkey, the Unicorns of Love, is he a narwhal?
Minions have spawned.
So let's see what we got going on here.
I don't even know what a water donkey is.
Just is one.
I don't know.
Donkey that's in the water. He's playing around in the pool, man. He's swimming.
Okay.
Vizichachi's swimming.
Oh, they're going for an invade here. H2K. Ha! Trashy's like, invade me at my red.
I've seen this before. They went with Rengar getting the red buff. So Odwamna does leash slightly. He's part of the invade, then immediately TP's top. Does not get any extra potions. Doesn't even belie the fact that he actually invaded down there. There's actually no information. Never mind. Kog and Nami coming from the left-hand side shows that they invaded the red buff. Gilius should be able to go to enemy red after this. Ooh. Zirene takes an explosive shot, but a good heal comes out of AOD.
Ooh, actually, Gilius, where's he heading?
Wow, they didn't know.
Yeah, it looks like Gilius is actually going to just go straight to his red, check it, be like,
There's still a chance they can get back to the red buff in time on the top side.
Yeah, Trashy. He's probably giggling to himself right now.
The thing is, Trashy's going to run out of health and his smite's going to be down. I really think Gilius could steal this buff. But yeah, that's a great buff steal. Trashy gets to laugh to himself, doesn't have the timer necessarily. Gilius might not go for the second buff, so it could be a 3-1 start for H2K.
Yep. Good invade there by H2K. They grouped as a team to perform that one instead of letting Trashy do it on his own. So it was a team effort. They did use the TP for Odwamna, because you typically don't need it within the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game.
True. It'll be up around 6 minutes this game.
This bot lane, just back and forth. This matchup is pretty even across the board. It just depends on who lands the CC on who. Do you get a bubble on the Thresh? You get some damage back and forth. You get the bubble on the Tristana. And also, do you get a hook on the Nami? Or the Cock?
Yeah, true.
Really good options here, but it's really just who gets the CC, which support will really tip this lane.
It's all about the skill shot battles. It's going to be fun. The AD carries do have decent follow-up on both sides. Vizichachi now, his lane is being pushed in by Odwamna, but it looks like there's more CS to be had for the Maokai, so it's a pretty happy place to be. Dodges the cleaver, I like that. Little tricky move.
Styled. That was awesome. Now I'm going to try using those invulnerability frames all the time.
Yeah. Man, how many are you going to miss, though?
All of them.
Yeah, darn right.
I'll never get it right.
I will.
Will you ever play top Maokai?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I really never will. He's not my style.
Trashy. Sees Gilius.
If I did, I'd buy Deathcap first. I'd play him like Gragas. Just Lichbane first. Deathcap next. One-shot people.
It's a legitimate build.
Probably is. Never seen it, but I would still do it.
Anyway, Trashy. He's going to go finally get his red buff. He also just saw Gilius and saw that Gilius didn't have a red buff, so he's like, oh, he didn't steal mine. So it looks like I have another buff to take.
Trashy's taking his time on this one, though. Yeah. He's going to have red buff for most of the time he's kind of walking around the map, so that's kind of nice. If he gets into a battle, he'll have that red. Vizichachi trying to fight Odwamna's root comes out, the sapling as well. Good damage being dealt. Ooh, he dodges the cleaver. Vizichachi's really good at dodging Odwamna's cleavers.
Yeah, whether it's with the Twisted Advance or just walking to the side, he's doing a really good job, like you said.
Odwamna on a potion. No teleport for another minute, actually. So Vizichachi, if he gets a gank, could just pick up a kill and have no way back in. But we already have Trashy waiting to make his move. Cleaver lands.
He's just going to try to poke Vizichachi down a tiny bit. There's no need to rush this. Is he going to check it yet? There he goes.
Oh, gets rooted up in place, and this is a lot of damage to Vizichachi. He roots, he flashes. Can he get away? Flash in, and Odwamna is going to give first blood over to Trashy after 2 flashes.
But that just makes it even in gold. Because of the CS difference.
Yeah.
Just bottom, also top.
Look on here, and then jumps on in. Vardog's maybe overstaying this one, though. He's got to be real careful. He just lost 700 health, basically, because of that.
It's all about the CC and who it lands on and who gets the exchanges. Man, that was really good gank up top. But Trashy, here's the thing. He's getting going. This is what they prevented last game from Unicorns of Love side.
But Trashy already looks good, man. He's got the Madras Razor, he's got a longsword, and Vardogs takes a bunch of damage. Exhaust already used. Hylissang and Vardogs, they've got to respect this. They're up in CS, but they're starting to lose fights.
Yeah, it's this trading potential of the Kog'Maw Bioarcane Barrage alongside the Tidecaller's Blessing.
Well, levels are so important on these champions. Their primary damage skill is the first one they max, and it just does so much more with skill points.
Ooh. Trashy looking for a repeat gank top.
This is not good for Vizicsacsi. He's going to have a really hard time here. Odwamna pops ulti, so does Vizicsacsi, but can they win this fight anyway? Rooted in place, a lot of damage being dealt. Looks like Odwamna's going to kite out of the ulti, and he's regenning back up. Vizicsacsi takes a cleaver to the face. He's going to be going down, wants to try to kite away. Mana is gone. Good damage back on Trashy, but the root's going to be enough. 2 kills now to the H2K jungler.
Camping that top lane, making sure that Maokai doesn't get off the ground. I said you kind of have to camp him a bit before he gets Catalyst and then on his way to Rod of Ages. Because if you camp somebody who builds Rod of Ages, you just delay their actual stats much longer.
And that is already the TP used by Vizicsacsi, so a whole bunch of minions will be lost. Odwamna is actually freezing this top lane here. He's going to have a gigantic item lead as Gilius wants to break this freeze. That's like another wave, though, that Vizicsacsi might lose here.
Yeah. It looks like he's just here to hold, because Jarvan's wave clear is okay.
He's just trying to break the freeze.
Yeah,
Odwamna's
he's smiting
I think it's
stuff.
now Odwamna can't easily walk back to lane. He has to burn his TP to get back. Or he
I don't know if he's even going to back, because he has his ultimate right now. He can just pop that for regen if he is in that
That's
low
true.
area.
He could wait until Spirit Visage and back when he has that.
Yeah, there's no rush here for him.
Yeah, he's like 1600-ish gold shy, so.
And Vizicsacsi actually stops to do his white. Yeah.
Nothing really to farm. Takes that camp, now walks back in a lane. Catalyst is done for the guy, but man, is he far down right now.
Trash, he's going to get another red buff for himself here.
They see everyone else coming back around.
Nope.
Hylissang and Vardog's doing a good job of timing that buff respawn. Of course, Gilius is the one who cleared it.
Here's the thing, though, is it's cat ball delivery, and he used his ult.
Meow.
They saw it.
They saw it with the ward. They backed on out. And he goes in for this one. Febiven knows this is all happening, but there's the entire bot lane of H2K, and this is going to be their red buff. Yes, it is. Trashy claims that. But the hook across the wall, knockup doesn't quite land on a Trashy. There's the bubble, though, and Vardogs comes in. Gilius forced to run away. Pops the ulti. Can they kill Trashy now? Yes, they will. 1-for-1. Shockwave whiffs. Oh, no, from Febiven. He lost the ultimate. Now Hjarn then taking some damage. Chase on into Flash from H2K's AOD. 1-for-1.
Wow, and the buff is lost somewhere. Who has the red? Who ended up with it? I'm actually quite curious.
Might be nobody's.
Yeah,
They could have traded kills.
They just went to Gilius, and then Gilius died to Trashy.
Red buff tick could have done it technically.
Yeah, true.
Top lane though, big fight though. Vizicsacsi jumping in onto Odwamna, who has popped his ultimate himself, but without Visage is not a million health back, but it will be more than half his health bar back. Up a full level over this Maokai though. Looks like the moon is working much better in this matchup.
Yeah, it looks like the type of matchup where Mundo, you'll kind of just stall the game out alongside him. It goes back to the time when everybody was using like Shyvana versus like Trundle, Shyvana versus Mundo.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you guys sit around and farm and try to transition into the late game and then just see who's the bigger regen tank later on.
Yeah, it's just kind of different in what they provide to the team, though. Basically, Maokai, all about holding a big front line, absorbing damage, and just being in the way. You can't get past him, and it's his job to keep everybody kind of in top shape. Mundo is more of a damage dealer. He does soak damage, of course, very well, but he's best served chasing down a Kog'Maw. I think that's like the #1 thing that Mundo could do is like get in the way of Ezreal or Jinx or Kog'Maw and say, deal with me because you can't. So they will ideally play teamfights a little bit differently. Difficulty being that Tristana can, of course, cut the regen and potentially has a very similar top-level damage cap to Kog'Maw here. So we'll have to see how they end up matching up against each other. But 10 minutes in, of course, quick pause. We'll get the game started again pretty soon. But a really close game. We're 600 gold apart. The top lane camp has gotten Trashy on Rengar ahead. I have not seen any other really, really big ulti ganks from him yet, though, but maybe he can snowball another lane as well.
Yeah, the Rengar ganks top were really good. Then they went for the aggressive play by the red. Febiven whiffing the ultimate. I think he threw it onto Trashy as Trashy died. So I think
it was like a pretty big delay, though.
It like snapped back to him. Well, the thing is that he walked away from the fight.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
know they were going to continue it. And then he was like, uh-oh, you guys are actually fighting, and walks back.
Yeah, ended up being a mistimed ultimate either way, though. That could have been a better fight for H2K. That wasn't the case here. So, 600 gold game. Still 10 minutes in. Vardog's Hillsong to gain some gold for themselves. Still the tiniest of CS leads in this bot lane here. BF Sword available soon. Trashy wants in on Power of Evil, but it seems like he cannot quite reach that. Uh-oh, Power of Evil is actually going to get reached after all. I take that back. The Satchel seems to have not done anything, and Trashy gets himself a kill. Never mind, the Rengar gank's super working.
There's the interaction we were talking about earlier. I guess it doesn't move him.
Was it on the correct side, though?
I don't know. He didn't even move. He didn't even get popped up.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh, Gilius could definitely make a play here. They have to wait for the timeout of the Lantern, so he can just Q in, smite it, and get out.
Goes for it, Trashy. Oh, man. Gets the smite, and the kill goes over to Gilius. AOD doesn't have to be too afraid of this one either. Kills some more wards out, and H2K solidify their advantage, 2,500 gold lead.
Flipping the matchup, and now Rengar just seems to have the edge over the Jarvan, regardless of who's playing it right now, because you're playing it very aggressive when you're in this game.
And Trashy's been able to force things that were early cooldown boots. He's going to go for the Cutlass as well. Same build we just saw Gilius play.
He's copying him. It works for Gilius.
Maybe the case.
You never know.
Either way, it's working out, to be honest. A 3-1-2 Rengar. That doesn't mean he's going to be squishy. It doesn't mean he is killable by people like Ziggs and Tristana, but that might just not matter. Mid lane under fire, some good damage coming through. Trashy to grab his red buff as well.
He wants to farm a little bit more because he's not sitting on 5 ferocity. Pepivin.
Athenes for both these mid laners here. Boots advantage for the Orianna, not a big deal. Unicorns of Love are going to take some time to clear these wards away, but right now H2K have just made better choices so far in this game.
Yeah, Unicorns of Love have had their jungle warded for a bit. H2K are playing more like a team, from what I'm noticing. Even the little invade that they tried to get that 3rd red buff didn't work out too well, but it worked in a way because they went even. But they were all part of it.
The H2K want to be part of something even greater. You're seeing Rengar wait around for a mid lane gank here. Once his wave pushes back to equal. Parvil misses the ward in the wall, actually. He doesn't get it in the brush. So he does not see Trashy's approach. It's on the other side anyway.
Trashy's
the brush.
Definitely looking for a play here. He went on Power of Evil previously with this ultimate. Rooted him up. See if he can do it again. Power of Evil does have the flash.
Gilius wants his bot lane, though, so they will be ganking different lanes at roughly the same time here.
If a hook lands, it's going to be a Lantern backwards to set up this gank.
Look how far back H2K are playing, though. They are completely respecting any of this. Lantern comes out. Quick reconnect. No big deal. That's what the pause is for. H2K just farming up. I mean, they are the team in the lead right here. They've usually been very good at closing out games. They're usually very lane dominant as well. And you can see that not cashing in these bad matchups is working out. Trashy is going to be on a ward, though. He's not going to get a gank either. So Trashy's been looking for ganks, but not finding them right now.
Yeah.
So Dwamna keeps pushing Maokai out. Of course, low health part of his Itachi means he's got to leave and loses another wave of XP. Oh, Dwamna is crushing this matchup here.
Oh, actually, at the top, they are going to go and use the Mega Inferno Bomb for Power of Evil to clear that wave out. So it's not completely wasted space.
That's a good choice. Get that cooldown down. Keep your lanes a little bit more afloat. Flash Hook's going to land on AOD. And here comes the teleport. Say knock back AOD. Tidal Wave comes across. He flashes back towards the turret. They're going to pull in Vizichachi. Can he reach for the root? Hillsong trying to make this happen. Vardog's still running away. Can he get out of this one? Dodges the first ulti, but the attack comes through from Sharon. Then they will trade back on the support, though. But here comes Pepivin. Good damage on Vizichachi. Whole bunch comes out from Sharon as well. And that is another kill picked up now. 2 for 1. The root on Hillsong. That's going to be 3 for 1 now. H2K crushed that battle.
They're playing much better as a team right now. And Unicorns of Love not having that same early game lead against a late game comp. This composition has much more early game to it and mid game.
Oh, Gilius going to try to get his red buff back. Every single time it's stolen in some way.
Going to come around him again.
Yeah. Big risk. Cleaver comes out. There's the root as well. EQ gets him away, just not far enough, though. Forced to flash. And that red buff's going to go to H2K.
As soon as he flashed, Trashy was done with that fight. Wanted to go back to the red. You can see how quickly he turned away. Yeah, that's not his objective. He wants the red. Taking care of the kill.
Blu-ray steal as well. Power of Evil puts some damage onto Odwamna, but not going to gain much here. Unicorns of Love just do not seem to be able to find the fights that they are looking for. H2K always there to turn them back around.
You were talking about how this bot lane matchup is going to completely dictate this game in the late game. Hjarnan, the exhaust completely wears off. Vardag's flash, heal, it's going to get Hjarnan to just walk up, fire Arcane Barrage, and at the same time, we end up seeing the rest of the team trying to collapse. Trashy comes over the wall with his ultimate from the Dragon Pit, ends up flashing to get around the Satchel Charge, and lands his perfect bola for the kills.
Yeah, H2K, they showed up first, and of course the Ziggs ulti was down for helping the top lane, so that's kind of why you see a fight go that well. If they're joining these battles before a UOL, it's going to go that way.
Yeah, and the fact that they have this more mid-game, late-game, and it has some early-game power compared to Kassadin,
yeah,
then it's definitely a better team composition for H2K and their play style as well. Because they love to bully people. I was really surprised by the late-game comp. They kind of got baited into the Kassadin combined with the Mundo in the top lane.
And you can't go full greed for late game. You can often get that punished. So, of course, Odwamna unable to be punished by the Maokai. Good ganks as well by Trashy. 2 of them in a row before level 6 worked incredibly well. And now ward coverage going over. H2K removing vision. Dragon up in 15 seconds. These guys are not showing signs of slowing down.
Yeah, and Unicorns of Love, really, their biggest point is the fact that they always have ward control of major objectives, but H2K are wrestling that away from them with their pink ward coverage and the fact that they are sweeping this area and prepping for it early. You always want to prep for objectives before UOL does, because they are usually on time for these types of things. And they'll just snowball the game out of control and not give UOL the gold that they want.
Looks like H2K do have to respect the engage of potential,
wow.
but Hylissang just gets jumped on right away. Big damage comes out. Nice bubble, nice tidal wave as well. 1 kill picked up. Now Vardogs tries to kill Trashy. They will trade 1 kill back, but now Gilius might have to be all kinds of careful here. Getting chased down by AOD. Pops the ulti. Yeah, 3 kills though come through. 2 of them directly to Hjarnan. Another big fight. H2K keep finding these picks. The Rengar is working so well from Trashy.
Yeah, and the Trinity Force power spike on that Kog'Maw is actually really big.
Yeah.
5-0 and 3. He's stronger than the IE Tristana right now.
By a lot.
Straight up.
Yeah, he is, and this is going to be all kinds of good things. Then H2K are well set up this game. 6,500 gold lead. They're controlling objectives. They're winning every single fight, and they're always in the right place much sooner than Unicorns of Love. They've not pushed towers down just yet, but they are maintaining control over the neutral objectives pretty nicely.
No. Ward coming in. Is he going to go for it?
Oh! Hylissang's going to die for this one. Burns the exhaust, tries to run. Actually, AOD was hurt enough.
AOD didn't have any mana either for any of his spells.
Yeah.
I know the W doesn't cost anything anymore, but he had no slow available to him. Look at that, Trash is gonna run straight into Gilius. Has 5 ferocity.
A whole bunch of damage. Gilius is gonna die. Shield comes out from Pevivin. Trashy gets it. Actually, the red buff claims the kill. They wanted to give it over.
He's trying to be helpful.
Still get the kill.
Doesn't matter.
Worth it. And every single time, Unicorns of Love, they walk by this Dragon Pit, they kill the pink ward, and they're like, but Dragon's gone.
Yeah, the vision control is really important to them, but the fact that they aren't able to win these team fights or even initiate the team fights in the way that they want to is really big. Both top laners now have TP just coming up right now after that bottom lane fiasco a while ago. But still, this Mundo bullying around this Maokai really hard. 0-0-6 to 1 and 3. 20 CS advantage, and his wave clear, frankly, he clears it faster and more consistently. He has better regen, and he's a better duelist than Maokai.
Yep.
Maokai is the straight-up team fighter, and Mundo is duelist, poker, a little bit of a kite.
Yeah.
Kite-oriented champion.
But he wants to reach the back line if he can.
Exactly. He wants to rush. I said poke, but I meant more like long-range kite.
Yeah, I mean, he can poke. Like,
yeah.
He actually works okay in siege comps.
He's really annoying.
Yeah, he is. And his grammar's horrible.
And Trashy.
He wants in. There's the ball. Shockwave's flashed away by Hylissang. Hook will not land. That could have been a kill if they landed it.
Bola landed on a minion there. So it ended up rooting big old minion.
It died to the Shockwave.
Exactly.
They got him.
You can't flash when you're Bola'd. So poor minion. But good news for everybody on UOL.
You can't flash if you're a minion in the first place. Why don't they get summoner spells?
I believe in the lore they're actually minor summoners.
I think they're controlled by minor summoners.
They're lesser summoners, yeah. Well, yeah, they're controlled by lesser summoners.
Yeah, and
we get the champions.
Apparently those summoners aren't level 12. They don't have flash.
Like, that's why we don't have League of Mediocrity. It's League of Legends.
Yeah.
Because then you just be controlling these little minions. It's like, all right, log in. Go!
You attack move then AFK.
Maokai OP. What's going on?
Just kill 6 at once, man.
Oh, I died and lost all my gold. Don't worry, I'll respawn. What if it's just the same minion going back?
Same minion. Well, you need like 20 of them per lane, though.
Oduamna,
though, is chasing 3 people down by himself, as you do. Hooked into the turret range, though. This could be decent. Nope, they're going to back off. Good bubble onto Vizicachi.
Now the regen tank just doing way too much work there. The cooldown on that is actually fairly low.
Yeah.
So it's about 1/3 of the way back up on the sadism.
H2K have been in control this entire time around now. They have finally crushed the outer line of turrets, those 3, the first tier. No dragon available, buffs. Blue buff just taken away. Red buff might be respawning soon, judging by where these guys are moving.
So H2K are having about as dominant of a game as UOL were having last game.
Yes.
They're 8,000 gold up, or about 7,500 gold for H2K at the 21-minute mark.
Ooh, the flash engage. Oduamna has nowhere to go. Cataclysm locking him up for a good long time. Lantern comes out for just an assist. And now, they are rushing Baron. The team is on the wrong side of the map, but they have to respect the fact that they can't take Baron.
They walked up to it, saw the damage, and then they just walked away. They started it for a second, but H2K are around the area, and they actually pinged it. Good presence of mind.
Trashy wants in. Hylissang's going to get rooted in place. Do they have the follow-up now, though? Exhaust is burned. There comes the shield. There comes the shockwave. Kill picked up by Febivin. 1 for 1 in the extended trade.
It's a little gratuitous on the shockwave, but hey, got the job done.
Darn right. And looks like H2K are going to keep on pushing. That minion does break the backdoor bonus, but Yarn has to respect Vardox with the red buff. And that will not be much gained, but an 7,500 gold lead means H2K are still in control, but they're not pushing their objectives very fast. They're not closing the game out anytime soon. They do have a late game to fall back on, but they're just taking small advantages over and over again.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to just win the team fights and then transition that later on. So it looks like it's going to be a little bit longer game than 28 minutes. And granted, maybe they do get, in the next 4 minutes, a fantastic fight for them. But look at all the wards in their inventories here.
Yeah.
Everybody is trying to close this game out by getting ward control of the enemy jungle of UOL's jungle.
Yeah.
Because UOL, they are known for their vision control. They're known for having tons of wards on the map at any given time, which really shows where they want to put their pressure. So right now, they don't have any by the dragon. They have about 1, but it's pretty far removed from it.
It's true. But, I mean, thankfully, some of the routes in are at least visible. Unicorns of Love have the ability to check things, but H2K just... Any fight that happens, it seems to go H2K's way no matter what. Bubble will not hit the Hylissang, but they're going to hook on in the support anyway. Knockup comes around, and they might just kill AOD. He finally is actually not even going down. Kill picked up on the support, 2 for nothing so far. Finally, AOD falls, but Zirene is still dealing damage. 3 for 1, but the Vizicachi now getting chased. He's likely to drop as well for this one as he runs away under his turret. The flash on in. That is the 4th kill for 1 death. Vardox now also going to die. H2K rolling over UOL in every team fight.
The ball delivery system finally coming to fruition there, and it's an ace for 1. AOD ends up dying at the start of the fight, and are they going to go straight for the Baron here on Unicorns of Love side? Vizicachi, he does have TP, but there really isn't anything for him to TP to that's close by. Closest object is the ward to the right.
Trashy does have decent read when he gets his ferocity back up. He can pop that W. Oduamna sitting at about 800 health. That's actually enough for Mundo, no big deal. This Baron does go down. 25 minutes, H2K now up 11,500 gold.
They shred that Baron so quickly with Yarnan having his Bioarcane Barrage and his Blade of the Wood King. Watch this over again. Just the damage and the ball delivery system into 3 priority members, destroying them, and Power of Evil at the same time. Bardags almost got sucked into that and completely obliterated, but he lasts a little bit longer.
Yeah.
The kitten ball delivery finally working. Didn't have to use it last game for UOL, but this game, H2K pick a fight off the back of AOD.
And H2K is going to kite back and take a dragon for themselves. I think Vizitachi actually played that team fight wrong. He could have come in with Jarvan and threatened AOD and Yarnan together, and instead Gilius was kind of by himself trying to defend. Ooh. Nice attempt, no steal comes through, but
nobody saw that.
Basically, Vizitachi had one big decision. He could go in towards Mundo and try to peel the front line away, or he could help Gilius in removing Yarnan. I think the better choice was to let Tristana kite, let Power People leave, let that team run away, instead of getting suckered into the Shockwave. And he could have actually made a much better fight trade there.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't see it coming, because it's the Rengar ultimate. So when the ball immediately appears on you, the reactions are very quick, and props to Vardags for avoiding it, but UOL, they're in a terrible situation too. There's 13,000 gold down at 26 minutes. Basically every minute, H2K is getting 500 gold over you, and that's off the back of objectives, the fact that they are out-warding Unicorns of Love, and they are out-rotating them just flat out. The kill contribution here across the board is looking really good for H2K. You can tell they're team fighting a lot.
They're doing a great thing for themselves. Yarnan is massive. He's on his way towards his 3rd item here. Level 15 now as well, 3 levels above Bardogs, which means now he's just getting points in queue for even more attack speed. It's probably close to 2 per second right here.
Yeah, that Kog'Maw is definitely scaling up a lot faster than the Tristana is.
Hook won't land. Odwamna basically unkillable. 3 tank items are in right now.
Turret being tanked up.
Yeah, he doesn't even care. Just sit there, take the damage. Not a big deal. UOL do defend though. H2K not trying to rush this one down, but Hylissang loses so much health from Kog'Maw and Orianna. Blue buff on both of them as well as Baron. There's so much mana to be spent.
Yeah, so last time we saw H2K, and actually we talked about it at the start in terms of what champions Febiven plays, and I always say you can't give him Orianna or Yasuo. You can't give him Orianna because he's going to farm like a beast. He's got 300 CS in 27 minutes, and that dissonance there, that just landed on Hylissang, just chunked him down. He will clear waves very quickly. His Shockwave is going to obliterate your backline when it's delivered to you by Trashy. And even if you just land the dissonance manually by using command attack, it's going to completely chunk you out and make you almost a non-factor in the fight.
And we've been seeing that, man. The engages are just removing the backline of UOL. Rengar can reach the backline very easily. Shockwave makes the fight go rather quickly. Oh. And the flash hook from Hylissang is in the middle of a minion wave. Does not get anything for it out here. And the wants his bubbles not quite going to land, but the tidal wave does. And down goes Thresh again. 1, 5, and 4 on Hylissang. And just every single battle, it's always H2K getting a kill.
Yep, completely punished for that little move there with the flash hook. They didn't have flash available. Time to go. And the entire team of H2K just come out of the brush while Mundo pushing top.
And H2K happy to just push as 4 and try to close this game out as Odwamna split pushes top lane. He'll get uncontested turret kills here. UOL are required to defend as basically their entire team against this squad.
Yeah, that wave clear is ridiculous from Febiven. He doesn't even have to bat an eye. It just instantly falls over with a command attack through them and a distance.
And we're going to see top lane tier 2 go down. H2K have now claimed all 6 turrets outside the base. Tier 1 and tier 2 are gone. Hylissang is chunked out in the bot lane. He goes down right away.
Again.
Shockwave into Kog'Maw.
Caught again. Shockwave down. Wow, the Mega Inferno Bomb basically does the damage to Yarnan that Dissonance does to everybody else.
It's a pretty farmed Orianna right now. This is going to be game pretty soon, I think, as the inhibitor goes down. H2K under 30 minutes in, now up 18,000 gold.
Yeah, just making this lead even bigger and bigger. Granted, UOL had a larger lead earlier and then didn't get to this point in the game.
Yeah.
Because they closed it out very quickly off the back of some good plays and some good invasions. But H2K, instead, camping that top lane early, the Maokai down, he's been pretty much a non-factor. He has Rod of Ages fully stacked up, and now he has Spirit Visage. Doesn't have an armor item.
Yeah. It's a squishy person to be.
To see a Shockwave come in here, and look at that. Just that's basically the damage of the Mega Inferno Bomb to everybody else on the team. Bam. The Dissonance.
2 spells from Kog'Maw. Didn't even auto-attack him.
Stolen.
Look at this. AOD just picked up Zeke's Herald.
Okay.
So 10 lifesteal and 20 attack damage to his friends. Helps Rengar, Kog'Maw, and a little bit of Mundo.
And cooldown reduction to himself.
Of course.
And HP. It's basically a glorified Kindle Gem.
Wow. You don't like that item very much, apparently.
No, I love Zeke's Herald.
I think it's great. As an AD carry, I love that item.
When other people buy it for you, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
The fact that lifesteal is becoming more and more scarce as a stat, because it's really Blade of the Ruined King, or you go for the Bloodthirster. But instead of you getting Bloodthirster, your AD carry can go ahead and just get you a Zeke's Herald.
Yeah, and they can get you a Zeke's for it. But bot lane turret now very low on health, under a third here, and they're still putting damage down. The engage on Otuamna, though, he wants this one, but we're not going to land. But the health bar down to about 1/3. They can't get enough damage down, though. He's going to regen all the way back up. Vardog's taking poke from the Kog'Maw. In they go again for the turret. That's going to fall right now. Trashy pops the ult. He's going to flash in, root up Gilius. He's going to jump away from this one. Vizichachi also pops the ulti, and he just has nothing to do, though, in this game. Bot lane inhibitor goes down. Shockwave going to land as well, and Hylissang again caught out by Febiven. Ulti comes out, dealing some good damage to Hjarnan, but there's just not enough follow-up there. Ulti pops in, and double kill now comes in for Febiven. This is going to be the game. Trashy is going to die down, but they trade back now onto Vardogs. 2 versus 4. Nexus turret's now taking damage. Otuamna isn't, though. Power of Evil is going to fall. Hjarnan stays alive. This will finally be the game. 32 minutes in. Minions flood on into this one as well. H2K with a very commanding victory. They never lost grasp of the game, and Trashy set them up real well.
And it's just the junglers back and forth in these matchups, and I'm glad that we're having a game 3.
Yep.
Because if this wasn't the playoffs, then I don't know what is, because all these teams are so equal in terms of skill level that they take games off each other back and forth.
Yeah.
So having the best of 3, making sure that we find out who really is the top dog and can adjust mid-series to what they just saw.
And keep in mind as well that like this is still the road for the promotion tournament as well. I mean, you've got to adapt fast. Adapt or die, definitely the case in best of series. And keep in mind, if you win here, you go to the promo tournament, you face SK Prime in the finals, and you get to find out who's the real top dog here. But if you lose, you're facing NIP in the 3rd place match. NIP definitely no pushovers, very strong team overall. You saw them fight tooth and claw. And neither team can feel good about facing the 3rd place match here. 1-1 of the series. UOL crushed game 1 against a late game comp. H2K, a lot of great moves here. Especially knocking down the Maokai to the point where he was never effective anymore. And Otuamna just became unkillable and walked around and did things.
Yeah, the fact that they camped Vizichachi just a couple times.
Yeah.
Then they left the matchup to just be over in Otuamna's favor, and then Trashy made plays elsewhere. Went to Dragon, went bottom, went to the jungle, went to the mid lane, made a whole bunch of map pressure after just kind of raising a baby and saying you can go ahead and walk now and be by yourself and just completely dominate that lane. Febiven, 7-0-11.
Yeah.
And then Hjarnan, 9-0-7. These guys really stepped up this game, especially in comparison to the last game. So I don't think they're going to get baited back into a Kassadin if it's left open.
Nope.
I don't think they would want to pick it, and I don't think they're definitely going to pick it into conjunction with a team comp that can't hold off and is too late game focused.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they will get punished by UOL immediately. And also the fact that Hjarnan went with a Kog'Maw this time over the Lucian was something I really liked straight from Champion Select, because he'd played Kog'Maw 4 out of his 5 times that we saw him in Summer Series 2. So I thought, if it's not broken, you don't have to fix it. Just keep going back to the Kog'Maw.
Right.
Because that is where he functions the best, because his positioning is fantastic with that champion.
Absolutely. And I think H2K do have the stronger bot lane. I think it was the case as well with NIP versus SK Prime. SK Prime managed to play around that, though, and win their games. But for H2K, it feels like they're going to just do fine in lane regardless. So go ahead and pick a late game carry. Go ahead and scale up. Hjarna's doing a great job on that one. What you said earlier in the middle of game 2, though, was don't give Febiv an Orianna.
Yes.
That was a really big part here. Not only because his Orianna's really good, but it was largely the Ori Rengar combo.
I think it was banned. No, it was taken away game 1.
Yeah, it was taken away first round in game 1 there. It was something that UOL really heavily prized. Unicorns of Love going back on red side here in game 3, I think it was obvious the casting ban didn't matter. Although H2K did spend the ban on it themselves this game. But UOL, you cannot allow the Ori to come through. It seems like the Maokai is something that's... Like, H2K blue side banned it the first game. I don't know if you do anymore because you see how easy it was to shut down. But I wonder how strong the Rengar will be without Orianna, because I don't think you let the champion go through again.
Yeah, the Rengar without the Orianna, I'm not too sure. I mean, you might, like, first round pick... if you're H2K, if it's left open, you first round pick something like Maokai, and then if both are left open, you pick them on your rotation. But you know that UOL will do that combo.
It's true.
So it's kind of a, do you separate it? Do you ban one? There's a lot of options here, and depending on their strategy and what they want to do, we'll have to see.
Well, we'll have to see. We're going to see what happens in Champ Select, guys. But we're going to take one last quick break today. But when we return, it's going to be that third and final game between H2K Gaming and Unicorns of Love, with a trip to the finals on the line. Find out who advances after this. Good damage on Vizichachi. Whole bunch comes out from Hjarna as well. That is another kill picked up now. 2 for 1. The root on Hillsong, that's going to be 3 for 1. Big damage comes out. Nice bubble, nice tidal wave as well. 1 kill picked up now. Vardogs tries to kill Trashy. They will trade 1 kill. Ulti pops in and double kill now comes in for Vebevin. This is going to be the game. Trashy is going to die down, but they trade back now onto Vardogs.